Welcome back to another very dodgy episode on my Subaru for Modified Weekly. This is now the third attempt we are trying to do these bloody braided lines. The first time it started to piss down.
Alright, so we got to the stage of jacking it up, undoing both the wheels, and honestly, I'm rather moist right now. We're calling it quits for now. Can't deal with this. Nah. It's like thunderstorms and shit right now. I just heard some thunder. So I'm good. I don't like modifying cars that much, alright?
Second time I didn't have the right tools, but now I've got a flared 10mm spanner.
We was meant to be doing his braided brake lines today, but he hasn't got the correct tools. All he's got is a 10mm spanner, whereas we need a 10mm flare nut spanner. So it goes around in like 6 points, I think it is, whereas we've only got the standard ones, which are like 4 points. And it was just 3
points. So yeah, we've already seen it. Wheels off, jack car, wheels off. And have a little look at what we can get done today. Now the problem we had last time was we was using a 10mm spanner which has 3 sides. And what we should have really been using, or I should have done the research beforehand, is a 10mm flared spanner with 6 sides. So it has more points of contact on the actual fitting itself, therefore it becomes easier to grab it and twist it and turn it. So we've got that. We're going to stop rounding these bloody belts off. I've mullered this one, so we're going to try and salvage it, but let's get those off. So yeah, it always goes to show, get the correct tools or research what you're actually doing. Now this will piss fluid, don't worry about that because you're going to top that fluid right back up. But yeah, get the right tools and it's a piece of piss. No. And then you want to get a 12mm ratchet on a back of your, wherever that is, I don't know what that is. What is that called? The banjo nut on the back of the caliper, which will again piss fluid everywhere, but it shouldn't piss that much because you've taken it off the actual line. And then the only one you've got to undo is that bracket there holding that in. On the front it's a bolt, isn't it?
Huh?
On the front, on the strut, is a bolt.
What do you mean on the strut? On
the strut tower, you've got a bolt rather than a clip.
I don't know what you're on about.
Oh my god. So on the front one, it's pretty much
the same.
That? Yeah, apart from
12mm bolt going on
12mm
the
bolt
clip
there, which is as easy as that. And then the front one is pretty much exactly the same. And it's pretty much exactly the same for the other side. Now you can see the difference between the old rubber line is a lot thicker and it's a lot, or you can actually bend it full 360. This one doesn't bend as easy. It's a steel braided line, it's springy. But this one compresses and contracts because it's rubber. When it gets hot, what does it do?
Well, because obviously it's rubber, so when it's a hydraulic fluid, so you're pushing down your pedal, the rubber's expanding before it actually gets to your caliper. So that will give you that spongy feel, whereas these take that away.
They're just a lot better quality as well. And it's always good to replace 15-year-old parts. But you want to make sure you get the right one, so you want to find the one that looks pretty much identical, which is this one, because it's got the, whatever that is, the 12mm clip that goes, and this one hasn't, it's got this bracket thing. So let's get this line in. Loosely put the 10mm thing back into the braided line, loosely wrap it over there, and then you get your banjo nut, your new banjo nut. You put one of the copper washers on one side, you screw it in, and then put another copper washer on the other side.
No.
You do?
No, you don't.
You put a copper washer in, you put it through the banjo hole, and then you put a copper washer through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's like then you screw it in, then you put a one here.
Oh, did I? Well, anyway, you do what you do.
So it goes like that. One there.
Yeah, then you put it through your hole.
Through the hole.
Then you put another washer. That's what
there.
I said.
Oh, you didn't explain it very well.
Oh well. Here's that line done. You just do this, whatever this nut is called, back up onto there, which is 17mm. Push your bracket back in. Line goes over there, back into the strut tower bolt. Push your bracket back in. That's just held in by a bracket. On that one, it's held in by a 12mm bolt. 12mm bolt.
12mm bolt and bracket, yeah.
And then you push your banjo through your hole with both the copper washers either side. Do that up as hard as you possibly can so you get a nice clamp and then you pretty much move on to the other side, and then you have to go around and jack up each side of the car, take the wheel back off and bleed it.
Yeah.
So we're going to now move on to the other side, because the front one and the rear one's done. It's pretty much the same process on the other side.
Pretty much.
It is.
It's identical.
Yeah, I said pretty much.
No, it's identical.
And then it's pretty much done, apart from bleeding and then looking all snazzy.
Snazzy.
Yeah, pretty much all we're doing is replicating what we did on the other side. So get a pair of grips or something to hold onto that, crack your nut, and it's pretty much easy as that. Break your banjo nut. Take the clip out of this side, take the 12mm off that side, but that one's being stubborn. And come on, get on there. And then it's pretty much easy as that. And then you move on to bleeding, which is a whole other process, which we shall go through. Now you would think, why have we dropped this side when we haven't really bleeded, when we haven't bleeded the system yet? It's because you actually have to bleed the caliper that's furthest away first, and then move towards the front. Is you keep your eye on the reservoir, the brake fluid reservoir, take your cap off to let the air out of the system. You get someone handy, preferably not Ollie, to stand in the car and press on the brake pedal to pressurise the system. Come over here, and you've got a bleed nut on the back of the caliper which lets air out the system and lets you bleed your brakes. It's 10mm.
Just letting them know, you know.
10mm bleed nut. Well, it's not 10mm in every car, is it?
It's a bloody 10mm. I think it's a 10mm in my car as well.
So yeah, and that basically releases air and pressurises the system and gets the...
You can just watch the first video we've ever done, and it's kind of the same pro as well. The bleeding is exactly the same.
Yeah, but the bleeding we did in the bloody dark.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, just bleed the brakes, do whatever you want. So when you've got everything done up and you've topped your reservoir back up and put your cap back on, because you've got to make sure it's at the maximum, you can start it and then take it for a spin and actually test it to make sure you don't like have actual brakes, or make sure you have brakes. So we're gonna give it a test. So we bled the brakes yesterday and I drove it around for a bit, and we've still got air in the system, so we're back here again.
Hello.
They're bleeding the brakes because they're still spongy and it's not stopping. So Ollie's going to put his foot down on the pedal, on the brake pedal. I'm going to crack the nut and do the nut back up, and he's going to release his foot to expel all the air from the system. So let's get on with that. So that is the braided lines done on the Subaru. Can you see them in there? My injectors are quite loud when you put your head to it. But that is the braided lines done. If you did like this video, please give it a like rating. Drop us a subscribe as well. And keep coming back for more of that good weekly content on a Saturday and Wednesday. So yep, this has been Paul and Ollie again, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.